Well, our focus on the panels all this week is on that upcoming medium-term budget policy statement. The mini-budget, as it's called, is going to be delivered by a very newly minted Finance Minister, Tito Mboweni. It was just 2 weeks ago that we were sitting here speculating on the future of former Finance Minister Nhlanhla Nene. Now, Mr. Mboweni is a big fan of Twitter. He tweeted over the weekend, if you were Minister of Finance, what would you announce on Wednesday next week? Over to you. Don't tell the establishment about this tweet. He rather caustically and sarcastically tweeted, well, Minister, your sarcasm aside, as you now are the establishment, we've decided to invite a few learned commentators to provide us with their tips for Tito. On the line, we've got Darby Root, Chief Economist at the Efficient Group. Darby, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure. Good evening to you.
In the studio, Jameel Ahmad, the Global Head of Currency Strategy and Market Research at FXTM, who's in the country just for the special event. Jameel, always good to see you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Jameel, from the currencies perspective, I suppose Minister Mboweni can take consolation from the market reaction to his appointment. We saw the rand immediately strengthening on the news, not only against the US dollar, but by a percent or two against the currencies of our emerging market peers, which indicates that it's a local specific issue. How much do you see the rand moving around this budget on local news?
So the announcement was obviously positive, as you pointed out. The rand did rally on the appointment because it's seen as credible and somebody with a background that could really help the position and to achieve some goals for the economy. In terms of the budget statement and what impact it could have on the South African rand, it may cause some near-term fluctuations, but over the medium and longer term, you've got a lot of global market uncertainties in a very volatile external environment that remains very unpredictable with the President Trump narrative on trade and some other issues. Of course, US-China trade tensions is a key thing for global economy and global markets. So I wouldn't expect the outcome of the budget to have that much of an impact on the rand over the medium and longer term, and I'm talking after a 2, maybe 3 trading day period. It was going to go back to business as normal for the South African rand.
And if we look from a currency perspective, Jameel, obviously, if we see a stronger rand over the next while, that can clearly reduce inflation. The inflation number we're expecting out on Wednesday as well. So that becomes an important variable or moving part for the Finance Minister.
It does, because higher inflationary pressures is something of a risk for the South African economy as we enter the fourth quarter and begin to unwind for 2018, because we have seen this weakness in the South African rand due to a real emerging market selling story, but yet it's increased the cost of living, and it's probably led to limited disposable income for households at a time where the economy is in a recession. So this is why I'd say during the budget, you really need to try to speak to the people and to help small, medium enterprises. If you can stimulate job growth through the budget, that'd be great, because now's not the time to provide that much of a market-friendly budget, because the emerging market environment is so volatile due to many different external uncertainties that if this budget did have a market-friendly response from international investors, something could happen in emerging markets next week, or it could happen with the Trump administration or general political risk, and investors could stay away from emerging markets once again. So this is why I would say speak to the people, try to help small, medium enterprises, because these are the people who will be responsible for driving the South African economy.
Great point on the SMEs, because I think they were largely ignored at the job summit. It did seem to be a bit of big labour, big government and big business getting together. And Jameel Ahmad, Global Head of Currency Strategy and Market Research at FXTM, we will wait and see whether or not the Minister can pull any skinny rabbits out of the hat. Perhaps he should just leave the hat at home and let everyone know that government is going to be stepping aside for a while.